Hi, it's Joy, and today we're watching Percy Jackson and the Olympians, Season 1, Episode 7. We find out the truth. Sort of. The penultimate episode is here, and I can't believe that. I'm so excited. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and let's go.
You're Procrustes, son of Poseidon and murderer of travelers.
Crusty, please.
My brother.
We're left here to guard it. But I need you to let me through.
Brother to
Please.
brother.
You first.
I was gonna say, where's Annabeth?
You okay?
Back from the underworld, you won't be the first to fail.
Hey. You're lucky we're letting you keep your head, dummy. Don't push it.
Annabeth defending Percy.
Better?
These are our tickets out.
They have the 4.
No one's turning back till we all come back.
Just a casual trip to the underworld, no biggie.
I know that you do not want to do this, but sometimes I have to make choices that you may not
Parenting is a
understand.
struggle.
I'm not.
Oh, baby Percy.
Over.
Probably one of the worst moments with his mum. Delightful place.
Not in Kansas.
Hey, focus. We left Kansas 4 days ago.
We'll add it to the list.
Guys, sorry.
This seems so wrong.
Nah. Only suckers wait in line. We should
Percy.
really spend some time in the city.
You're not dead.
I mean,
No.
we're all dying to some extent. You can buy a new whistle.
Percy. Good dog. So the underworld's going great so far. Gross. I'm glad you're doing okay, but gross.
Can you fly us up there with your shoes?
I still got the shoes. Oh, good boy, good boy. You don't want to eat Annabeth. Good boy. Go fetch. These are my loves, my little babies.
That's why we'll be keeping the master boat. And your mom.
Grover missing something.
What are we gonna do? I don't know. But if we don't move, it is not gonna matter. Come on.
These beautiful babies. You will fail to save that which matters most.
Homeschool.
I know. It sounds overwhelming, but there are resources to help. It's a real option.
Not if you work.
Some children are better off being with their parent.
That's what he
I'm
wants
sorry, but
desperately.
No, I.
It's not because she doesn't love you, tiny baby Percy. It's because she wants what's best for you.
Someone is staying behind, and it should really be me. It wasn't your fault.
No one's...
And even if it were, you're not getting left behind.
Percy, you sweet
Period.
boy.
You guys are leaving. With my mom.
Percy. You know, there's no world in
What
which
about
your
you?
mom would allow such a thing.
I'll figure something out.
Hey!
Souls here are bound by regret. Haunted by choices they made in life. Or never made.
This place just keeps getting better. Yeah.
We've got a problem here.
Oh no, she's catching root. She has regrets.
Some kind of regret, right?
You're 12, my
What could you have to
sweet
regret?
girl.
Percy!
No.
This will work. I'll be okay.
Sweet wonder.
You can do this.
Beautiful baby
I know
girl.
you can. Run! Now!
My babies. Annabeth should not have a regret so deep at 12.
It's the shoes! Clover! Percy! Percy!
Bless. Yeah.
So, what is it then?
I mean, it is. How did it get there?
That's
And
the master bolt. How's it in your bag?
Ares had the master bolt this entire time and tricked us.
He was working with Hades?
I guess so.
Mhm.
That's the quest. Zeus is expecting us to return this.
His mom.
Zeus is just gonna have to wait.
Bless.
Let's go get your mom.
I love this group.
Why are you trying so hard to get rid of me?
She's not, sweetheart. She's trying to help you.
Never did this to you.
Kids know how to stab even if they don't fully mean it. Uncle Hades, hey! Come to say hi and get my mum back. Possibly if you could give me another magical pearl, that'd be great, and then we'll be on our way.
Can I get you anything? Fresh pomegranate juice, a snack?
Actually, my mother.
Boom.
This is not too fast he saw in his
I
dream.
admire the cut of your jib. I snagged her for you. Just in the ta-da nick of time. So that you would come see me. And here we are.
Okay, great. I'll give her back and we can all
You give me
leave.
what you got?
What?
Who tricked Ares into doing what?
You're in cahoots with Ares
Don't
to secure the bolt.
I'm not in cahoots.
you
with
know the
Ares.
truth, sort of.
I seldom cahoot. The bolt is my brother's drama. My helm of darkness, it went missing just days before someone used it to turn invisible and steal the bolt. I'd like it back now, please. And you get your mom back. These grudges, they go on forever. Super.
Percy.
Someone stole Zeus's bolt. It must have been somebody who was.
Chronos.
Excuse me?
He's got the longest grudge of them all. Hearing a voice from in my dreams, telling me it needs
Look
my
at you
help
go,
to take
Percy,
down
my darling.
Olympus. I accept your offer.
Great.
Your first offer. We're gonna go get your helm. And when I get back, you're gonna let my mom go.
Okay, hang on, kid.
Grover, now! Hold fast, Mom.
When you grow up, you start to understand your parents more. Fuck.
This isn't fair.
No, it isn't.
And I am failing.
No, you're not.
You are not failing.
Then I think you have your answer. He's going to go to school.
I like that Poseidon
And
is
he's gonna
supporting
learn
her
things that you can't teach him.
and not try and influence him.
And it's gonna be hard.
Influence
for
her and
both
how
of
she
you.
deals with him.
His mother raised him well.
And his father was not there.
One day,
Poseidon is up there in the godly parents. None of them are
one
great.
day when he's ready,
Thrust into this before he's ready.
when he knows who he is,
And fate has revealed to him his true path. On that day, I'll be right by his side.
Love this show. I love this show. I love this adaptation. I feel like they are taking everything that is the essence of the books, the heart of the books, the key moments in the books, and just bringing them to life. The characters are just so flawlessly themselves. And that is something that can be hard to do when you bring things from book to screen because you don't have internal dialogue, or, you know, you kind of, when writing, you can write things in a way that makes it clear to the audience what a character is acting and thinking, and even what their facial expression is like. And in sometimes people can misinterpret real people's facial expressions when acting, or the actor might just not hit it, but this show is doing such a fantastic job. These damn kids have stolen my soul. Now, the book versions already had it. These versions have been like, yep, mine too. I love them so much. I love the way they fight for each other, how both Annabeth and Grover were like, we're finding your mum. You know, part of why Percy brought them along, Annabeth in particular, was because he knew that if he wanted to go for his mum, she would stop him if it would put the quest in danger. Now, she wasn't technically there at the moment when they had the lightning bolt and they still decided to go for Sally, but I don't think she would have done anything different. I think she would have gone right there with them. Now, the flashbacks between Percy and Sally were obviously showing that they have not always had it easy. They have had a very hard go of it, with her not being able to explain to him why he's going through certain things, her being completely alone in having to deal with it, no support network, no one to lean on, no one to help. Something this show has not done particularly well is Gabe, shown just what he's like, shown what Sally had to put up with, and shown why. Now, they have had Gabe exist, so I'm guessing we will get to that at some point. I just would like some kind of a discussion of like exactly the sacrifices Sally made with that as well. Though I suppose we'll probably, I don't remember at what point in the book that became apparent either. I just know it did. But it definitely showed a very real perspective of how desperate Sally is trying to help Percy, and how like she doesn't know the right thing to do, the right thing to say. She's doing what she thinks is right. She is fighting for him in the way she thinks she can. And all he's seeing is, my mum doesn't want me around, my mum's getting rid of me, but she's trying to give him everything that she can. In particular, knowing what destiny is lying ahead of him. And I can't even imagine what that must be like. Now, Percy is a wonderful young man. He is sweet, kind, funny, sassy, strong, brave. She did do a brilliant job raising him, and I think the older, with that kind of scenario, the older you get, the more you look back on it and the more you can realise that your parent was doing everything they could. And sometimes when you're older, you learn the bigger picture. Now, for Percy, that bigger picture was he's a demigod. For other people, it can be other things that were going on in parents' lives that parents didn't want to tell the kids and put on them. So I think it was important to kind of see in those moments Percy as he is growing up, and he's being forced to grow up very, very quickly over the course of this series, as all the demigods do. He is realizing more and more what his mother, what motivated her, and how much she actually was doing to try and protect him. And that moment when he said, like, stay strong, mom, like, I'm coming back for you, like, don't worry, like, stay, it was a lot. It was very, very, very lovely and emotional. Now, Percy has the lightning bolt. The shoes tried to take him into the pit of Tartarus. Cronus has been mentioned. We think we know who is after everything. Ares is there on the beach. A lot of stuff is happening, and a lot of stuff is very stressful. I love meeting Hades. I love seeing Poseidon and that moment between Poseidon and Sally. I suppose it is easier to keep a paternal eye on your child when you're not supposed to have one, and therefore you only have one, and like your many other creatures around the world, like Krusty, who are technically also your sons and daughters, I presume. It would be easier, whereas like some of them, like Aphrodite or whatever, who have like a million children, it's probably harder. I mean, a million is an exaggeration, but it's harder to keep an eye on and track. But you can probably keep quite a close watch over your kid when you literally only have the one. Poseidon is definitely up there in the godly parents. Obviously, there are circumstances that meant he couldn't be more active in Percy's life. There were circumstances like Percy shouldn't exist and he's the forbidden child, and if Poseidon were to claim him as a baby, he would be a baby in extreme danger rather than the danger slowly being potential on the peripherals until he got older. But that still doesn't mean he's a good dad, in the sense that, like, where was he during Percy's life? Sally has to literally call for him in order to just talk about parenting with him. Like, it's very clear that, like, he doesn't stop by and check in on her from time to time or anything. Like, she is fully dealing with this on her own. Whereas, like, I don't know how, there would be some way he could have dealt with it. I think especially once it became known that Zeus had also broken the forbidden trio having babies rule, then you could be like, oh yeah, so by the way, me too, and have a slightly more active role. I don't know. But regardless, he is definitely a better parent, both in the fact that he is there for Percy when Percy actively needs him. He is there for Sally when she calls, and he listens to her. He helps her figure out what she wants to do, and he lets her make the decisions for Percy, which I think is a huge sign that Poseidon is one of the better godly parents. My feelings about him and certain other myths aside, because he could very easily have walked in there and said, right, well, you called me, I'm a god, what's best for Percy is this, go do it. But he didn't. He listened to her, he expressed regret that she was in this position, and ultimately, even though he knew that he didn't like what she had to say, perhaps there's every part of him that is saying, send him to Camp Half-Blood right now, let him get as much training and, like, my side of the world support as he can. He still listened to Sally and let Sally do what she thought was right, and didn't even say what he thought was right in that scenario, which I think shows a lot of respect for women that he hasn't maybe had in the past. But yeah, definitely an interesting insight. That is something that I think, as the series of books goes on, the complex nature of the relationships between demigods and their parents, and whether or not them not being around much makes sense because of the rules of the world, and because, like, gods are busy and there are all these other rules that manufacture everything, that control everything, and how much of it is like, it doesn't fucking matter. If you have a kid, you have a kid, be there for that kid. Like, it is a very complex thing that doesn't have a straightforward answer, and I think the show has done a very good job of weaving that in, and it's something that I can't wait to see more and more down the line as more demigods and more gods are come into it, you know, to see Annabeth and Athena down the line, and how the show does that, Poseidon and Percy, when they actually meet. And yeah, one episode left and a freaking ton of stuff that has to happen in that episode. My god, so excited for it though. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and thank you so much for watching.